We've been told the same story for generations. Dogs are simple. Feed them, walk them, pet them when they're good, and they'll love you unconditionally. It's a comforting narrative. It makes ownership feel easy, almost transactional. But here's what no one warned you about. Your dog has been operating by an invisible rulebook since the day they came into your life. And most owners break those rules without ever knowing they exist. If that idea just made something shift inside you, if you felt a small pull of curiosity or recognition, then you're exactly who this video was made for. Before we go any deeper, take a second to hit that subscribe button, not for me, but because what you're about to learn will change how you see every interaction with your dog from this moment forward. And honestly, you deserve to be in a community of people who care enough to truly understand their animals. Now, let's keep going. The myth of the simple dog has done more damage to the human-canine bond than any other misconception in pet ownership. Because when we believe our dogs are simple, we stop looking. We stop noticing. We assume that tail wag means happiness, that excitement at the door means pure joy, that their presence beside us on the couch means contentment. But dogs are not simple. They're just silent. Behavioral researchers have spent decades studying canine cognition, and what they've discovered would surprise most owners. Dogs experience jealousy. They understand unfairness. They remember specific events and hold emotional associations with places, sounds, and even tones of voice. Your dog isn't just reacting to the world, they're interpreting it constantly with an emotional complexity that rivals young children. Think about what that means for a moment. Every time you raised your voice in frustration, not even at them, they registered it. Every time your energy shifted from calm to anxious, they felt the change in the room before you even recognized it in yourself. They've been reading you with a precision you never gave them credit for. And all this time you thought they were just happy to have dinner on time. Here's the part that's difficult to hear. There's one rule, one unspoken expectation your dog holds closer than any other. That when broken repeatedly, doesn't just hurt them. It slowly dismantles the very foundation of trust they've built with you. And most owners break this rule daily, with the best intentions, completely unaware of the erosion happening beneath the surface. I'll tell you exactly what it is before this video ends, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. But first, you need to understand something fundamental about how your dog experiences your relationship. Because the rules they live by aren't random. They're rooted in something ancient, something wired into their very biology. And the first rule, the one we'll explore next, begins the moment you walk through your front door. Your dog isn't simple. They've just been waiting for you to notice. Picture this. You've just come home from work, 8 hours away, maybe 9. Traffic was brutal. Your emails never stopped. And all you want is 5 minutes of silence before the evening chaos begins. You open the door, and there he is, tail wagging so hard his entire body shakes, jumping, spinning, desperate for your attention. And what do most owners do? They push past. They mutter a distracted, "Hey, buddy," while scrolling through their phone, or worse, they scold the excitement, telling him to calm down before they'll acknowledge him. In that moment, something invisible breaks. Your dog doesn't experience time the way you do. To you, 8 hours is a workday. To them, 8 hours is an eternity of uncertainty. Studies on canine separation behavior have shown that dogs experience a significant spike in cortisol, the stress hormone, during periods of isolation. Their nervous system doesn't simply wait patiently for your return. It cycles through waves of hope and anxiety, constantly scanning for signs that you're coming back. And then you do. You finally return. And those first 60 seconds, they're not just a greeting. They're an emotional reset button that determines how your dog processes the entire separation they just endured. When you walk through that door, your dog isn't thinking about dinner or walks or playtime. In that specific moment, they're asking one question with every fiber of their being. Are we still connected? Did the bond survive? Do you still choose me? That's what those jumps mean. That's what the spinning and the whining and the overwhelming excitement are really saying. It's not hyperactivity. It's not bad behavior that needs correction. It's a dog who spent hours wondering if everything was still okay, finally getting the chance to find out. Here's what most owners get wrong. They either match the intensity, creating an overwhelming flood of energy that actually increases anxiety, or they dismiss it entirely, treating the greeting as an inconvenience rather than a reunion. Both responses miss the mark. What your dog actually needs is something far simpler but infinitely more powerful. Calm, intentional presence. The owners who understand this rule do something different. They pause. They kneel down. They offer quiet, grounded affection, a slow stroke along the head, a soft voice, eye contact that says, "I see you," and "Yes, we're okay." It takes 30 seconds, maybe less, but those 30 seconds tell your dog that the wait was worth it, that the bond is intact, that they can finally release the tension they've been holding all day. Every time you walk through that door, you have a choice. You can treat it as nothing, just another transition in a busy day. Or you can recognize it for what it truly is, a small ceremony of reconnection that your dog has been waiting for since the moment you left. They remember how you come home. They remember if you saw them or looked right through them. And over time, those memories build something or slowly take it apart. Your dog has been talking to you every single day, not in barks or whines. Those are just the loud moments, the emergencies, the overflow when subtle communication has failed. The real conversation happens in silence, in the tilt of a head, in the position of ears, in a gaze held for 2 seconds longer than usual. And the heartbreaking truth is that most owners have spent years in this relationship, functionally deaf to the one language their dog has ever known. Dogs didn't evolve with vocal language. They evolved with something far more intricate, a complex system of body signals, micro-expressions, and postural shifts that communicate everything from contentment to fear, from invitation to warning. Wolves use this language to coordinate hunts without a single sound. Your dog uses it to tell you things they desperately wish you understood. Let me show you what you've been missing. When your dog turns their head slightly away from you while you're petting them, most owners assume they're distracted or uninterested. But that head turn often means the opposite. It's a calming signal, a way of saying, "I trust you, and I'm showing you, I'm not a threat." When your dog yawns and they're clearly not tired, they're processing stress or attempting to de-escalate tension they feel in the room. When they lick their lips with no food in sight, they're uncomfortable with something happening around them. And then there's the one signal that changes everything once you recognize it. The slow blink. The soft, deliberate closing of eyes while looking at you. This isn't sleepiness. This isn't random. In the animal kingdom, closing your eyes in front of another being is the ultimate act of vulnerability. It says, "I trust you so completely that I'll make myself defenseless in your presence." Dogs don't offer this to strangers. They don't offer it to people who make them anxious. They offer it to the one person who has become their safe place. Research on human-dog interaction has revealed something extraordinary about eye contact between dogs and their owners. When you and your dog share a prolonged, soft gaze, both of your brains release oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers to their infants. Your dog isn't just looking at you. They're chemically bonding with you in real time, using the only language evolution gave them. How many of those moments have you missed because you were looking at a screen? That's not a judgment. It's an invitation to start noticing. Because once you learn to read these signals, every interaction with your dog transforms into a dialogue. You'll see them asking for space. You'll see them offering trust. You'll catch the subtle stress before it becomes a behavioral problem. You'll finally hear what they've been saying all along. Your dog learned your language, your schedule, your moods, your footsteps on the stairs. The question is, are you willing to learn theirs? There's a clock inside your dog that you've never seen. It doesn't tick in hours and minutes. It beats in patterns. The sound of your alarm in the morning, the jingle of keys at a certain hour, the weight of your footsteps moving toward the kitchen at feeding time. Your dog has memorized the rhythm of your life with a precision that would put most calendars to shame. And when that rhythm breaks, something inside them breaks too. We live in a culture that celebrates spontaneity, last-minute plans, flexible schedules, the freedom to change course whenever we feel like it. And for humans, that unpredictability can feel exciting, a break from monotony. But for your dog, unpredictability isn't adventure. It's anxiety wearing a different mask. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. Dogs are pattern recognition animals. Their ancestors survived by predicting when the hunt would happen, when the pack would rest, when danger might approach. That ancient wiring didn't disappear when dogs moved into our homes. It simply transferred onto us. Your dog now predicts their entire world based on your patterns. And when those patterns become unreliable, their nervous system interprets it as a threat they cannot identify or escape. Think about what a chaotic week looks like from your dog's perspective. Monday, you feed them at 7. Tuesday, you're running late. It's 8:30 before the bowl hits the floor. Wednesday, you skip the evening walk because you're exhausted. Thursday, strangers come over and the entire energy of the house shifts without warning. To you, it's just life happening. To your dog, the world has become unpredictable, and unpredictable worlds are dangerous worlds. Studies on canine stress have shown that dogs in inconsistent environments display higher baseline cortisol levels, more displacement behaviors, like excessive licking or pacing, and greater difficulty settling down even when nothing is actively wrong. They're not misbehaving. They're coping with an invisible tension that never fully releases because they can never fully predict what comes next. Now, I know what you're thinking. Life isn't controllable. Schedules shift. Emergencies happen. No owner can maintain perfect consistency, and expecting that would be unrealistic. You're absolutely right. But here's what separates owners who understand this rule from those who don't. It's not about perfection. It's about anchors. Anchors are the non-negotiable rhythms you protect no matter what. Maybe it's the morning walk that happens within the same 30-minute window every day. Maybe it's the feeding ritual that stays consistent even when everything else falls apart. Maybe it's the 5 minutes of focused attention before bed that your dog can count on without question. These anchors become the stable ground your dog stands on when the rest of the world shifts. You can't control every variable in your life, but you can choose which patterns remain sacred. To you, Tuesday and Wednesday feel the same. To your dog, a shifted routine is the ground becoming uncertain beneath their feet. They're not asking for a perfect life, just a predictable one. He's lying at your feet right now, or maybe across the room on his favorite spot, glancing over every few minutes to check if you're still there. You're physically present. You're in the same space, breathing the same air, sharing the same four walls. But here's the question that will redefine how you understand your dog. Does he feel seen by you, or just near you? There's a difference between proximity and presence, and your dog knows it better than you do. We've become masters of divided attention, the phone in our hand, the television in the background, the mental checklist running on loop while we mechanically stroke a head that's resting on our lap. We're there, but we're not really there. And dogs, these creatures who evolved to read human focus with extraordinary precision, notice every single time our attention drifts away from them while our body stays close. Researchers studying canine cognition discovered something fascinating. Dogs don't just recognize when you're looking at them. They differentiate between attentive eye contact and distracted glances. They know when your gaze carries intention and when it's empty. They can tell when a touch is connected to awareness and when it's just a reflex while you scroll through emails. Your dog has been cataloging these moments for years, building an internal record of how often they're truly witnessed versus simply tolerated. Think about what that means for the quiet evenings you spend together. You believe you're bonding because you're in the same room, but from your dog's perspective, there might be hours of physical closeness with only scattered seconds of genuine connection. And those seconds, not the hours, are what they remember. Those seconds are what they count. Here's the part that might be difficult to sit with. Your dog doesn't need constant interaction. They're not asking you to entertain them every waking moment or abandon your responsibilities to stare into their eyes for hours. That's not what presence means. What they need is something far more simple and far more rare in our distracted world. Moments of undivided acknowledgement. A look that says, "I see you." A touch that isn't automatic. A pause in the chaos where they become, even briefly, the only thing that matters. These moments are not about duration. They're about depth. 30 seconds of genuine presence outweighs 3 hours of shared space where their existence barely registered. Your dog measures your love not in time spent, but in attention given. And the beautiful truth is this: you can start right now. You can look up from this screen and find them. You can offer 5 seconds of eye contact that actually lands. You can let them feel, perhaps for the first time today, that they are not just background noise in your busy life, but a being worthy of your full awareness. Your dog doesn't count the hours you spend together. They count the moments you actually saw them. How many moments will you give them today? We've arrived at the moment I promised you at the beginning. The rule that sits beneath all the others. The one that, when broken repeatedly, doesn't just hurt your dog, it slowly dismantles the very foundation of everything you've built together. And the cruel irony is that most owners break it while believing they're doing the right thing. The rule is trust through emotional consistency, and when it shatters, your dog doesn't forget. Here's what happens in countless homes across America every single day. A dog chews a shoe while their owner is at work. Hours pass. The owner comes home, discovers the damage, and erupts, yelling, pointing at the destroyed object, maybe even dragging the dog over to show them what they did. The owner believes this is discipline. The owner believes the dog understands why they're being punished. But here's the truth that changes everything. Your dog has no idea why you're suddenly terrifying. Canine cognition doesn't work on delayed association. By the time you found that chewed shoe, your dog has moved through dozens of emotional states. They don't connect your anger to something they did hours ago. All they experience is this: the person they love, the person they trust above all others, has become unpredictable and frightening for reasons they cannot comprehend. And that's the wound that doesn't heal easily. Dogs can forgive almost anything. They'll forgive a missed walk. They'll forgive a late dinner. They'll adjust to schedule changes and new environments and all the chaos that human life brings into their world. But what they struggle to forgive, what rewires their nervous system in ways that persist, is learning to fear the person who was supposed to be safe. Every time you react with explosive anger, every time your emotions become unpredictable, every time your dog cannot anticipate whether you'll be gentle or harsh, a small piece of their security erodes. They start watching you differently. They flinch at sudden movements. They hesitate before approaching, scanning for signs of the storm they've learned can come without warning. This isn't disobedience. This is a dog who's learned that love and fear can live in the same person. The damage doesn't announce itself. It accumulates in silence until one day you realize your dog doesn't look at you the way they used to. But here's why I saved this for last. Not to burden you with guilt, but to hand you something far more valuable: awareness. You now know what so many owners never learn. You understand that your emotional consistency isn't just about managing your feelings. It's about protecting the sacred trust your dog has placed in you since the day they chose to believe you were worthy of it. Your dog decided long ago that you are their safe place. They made that choice before you earned it, based purely on hope. The only question that remains is whether you'll prove them right. Every single day, you get to answer that question again,